Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for tuning into this quick video. We are going to be talking about the brand new 2020 Ford Explorer that is coming our way. We're talking about the 2019 Ford Ranger that it should be any day now, and I should be getting my first 2019 Ford Ranger. I'm so excited about that one. We're talking about the Ford Bronco that is also hitting dealerships in the very near future. We're talking today also about what my perspective is on Ford deleting all of their cars. It's a sad moment, but it's coming. So we're also talking about Ford Raptors. This is kind of like the staple of this channel. I've helped so many of you guys get a Ford Raptor. So if you're interested in learning a little bit more about all of these things, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Well, hello, YouTube and social media. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jorge Lopez. I am your sales consultant here at Tomball Ford. I've been here for 19 years. I love this place. I've been here ever since I started. I've never left Tomball Ford, and it always is a pleasure coming and helping customers like you get into a vehicle of their dreams. My deal here at the dealership is, you know, no haggle, no back and forth. I gave you my best price up front, and that helps a lot of customers, you know, not spend 3 hours at a cubicle negotiating, doing the back and forth. So if you're ever in the Houston area or any part of the country, and if you're interested in a Ford product or a Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, I can help you with that as well. We have a dealership down the street that I can help you with. It's the same owners as Tomball Ford. But hey, enough. I'm here to talk to you about a couple of things that are very interesting. Number one is the 2020 Explorer. The 2020 Explorer is awesome because it is going through a body style change. Now, the look of it looks very similar to what we have right now, but it is a complete redesign on the Explorer, and I absolutely love the renderings and the pictures that are out right now, the actual pictures, I should say. And we are going to be able to share with you in an upcoming video coming soon pricing for the Ford Explorer. But you know what? Let me go back to my office so that I can go ahead and spend a few more quiet time moments with you sharing information about these vehicles. So let's head back to the office. Guys, well, welcome back to my office, and thank you so much for tuning in and continuing to watch this short video about these vehicles that we're talking about. And I want to touch base first of all on the 2020 Ford Explorer, and I'm so excited that the Ford Explorer is going through a redesign stage. So the body style is different, the interior is different. The underneath the carriage, Ford made some good modifications to this Ford Explorer. And even though the outside has a small resemblance of the current Ford Explorer, it is completely different. They are keeping the base, they're keeping the XLT, they're keeping the Limited, they're keeping the Platinum, but they're adding an ST trim level to the lineup of the Ford Explorer. And a lot of really nice technology features are standard now, even on the most basic one that I will share with you in a future video that I'm going to be doing on the Ford Explorer, which includes the pricing on this. So if you are interested in knowing pricing for this brand new Explorer and seeing how much it's going up, make sure that you subscribe, you like this video, and you share it, so that you're being notified of when I upload this video. But also the price ranges on these vehicles, to give you an idea, we're gonna estimate price range anywhere from $34,000 to about $56,000 to $58,000 at the most highest end level Explorer. Now, one of the biggest changes that Ford already said they're gonna be doing is they're changing the powertrain on this Ford Explorer for 2020. So instead of it being a front wheel drive, guess what? Now it's gonna be a rear wheel drive vehicle, and that's gonna improve the rideability, the comfort, but also the spacing of this vehicle, because this vehicle is now about 10 inches longer than the current Explorer. So that's just gonna open up so many more cargo areas. Ford is now saying that you can slide a sheet of plywood into the Ford Explorer. Believe it or not, that's how much room this vehicle is gonna be coming with. Another really nice feature that I'm so excited about is the Infotainment Center. If you checked out my video on dislikes and likes of my current F-150, if you haven't, check it up in the cards. One of the gripes I had, it's not a disappointment, it's just a small gripe that I had about my truck, is the size of the screen, the technology, and how everything operated on the software for the Sync 3 system. Well, for the 2020 Ford Explorer, you'll be able to have a 10.1 inch display on the radio area. I mean, that is just great. I'm so excited to see how that looks and feels. Supposedly, it feels like your cell phone. I mean, the touch sensitivity and how the glass feels, it's gonna be really, really high end. Also, another thing that Ford is bringing to the table for 2020 Explorer is on the dash. So in front of the instrument cluster design, the whole dash area, that's gonna be a 12.3 inch screen, and it is all digital. It's gonna look so high end. So I'm excited to welcome the brand new Ford Explorer. Now they're keeping the steel body of the Ford Explorer. They're not going into the aluminum alloy like they have been on the truck. So we don't know how that's going to happen, or if they're going to be doing or implementing aluminum alloy for the future Ford Explorer. Okay, so let's talk about the powertrain and the engine change that Ford is bringing to the table for 2020 Explorer. So the 2.3 liter EcoBoost turbocharged engine will now increase to 300 horsepower and 310 pound-foot of torque. The new engine that's coming out is a 3 liter EcoBoost. That's going to be putting out 365 horsepower and 380 pound-foot of torque with a max towing of 5,600 pounds. So all of these numbers have been improved compared to what we have currently right now for the 2019 Ford Explorers. Now, Ford is bringing that ST model that I told you about, right? So it's gonna have the 3.0 EcoBoost engine, but it's gonna have 400 horsepower and 415 pound-foot of torque. Wow. So I can only imagine how that's gonna feel up in the open road. Up in the open road. It's gonna have so much power behind it, and I'm so excited to review that engine when it arrives. Excuse me. Now, one of the other engines that Ford is coming up with that I do not have a lot of information on is the hybrid. Ford is bringing a hybrid engine to the Ford Explorer lineup for 2020. I don't know how that's gonna fall out. I didn't have a lot of success selling hybrids on our vehicles, so I'm not 100% sure how this hybrid engine is gonna be all about, but its main thing is getting fuel efficiency, and I think Ford is shooting somewhere in the mid 20 mark, 25-ish miles per gallon. But hey, only time will tell, and we'll see how that engine does on the freeway, on power, and how it does on the fuel efficiency. So stay tuned. We're gonna be chatting about the 2020 Ford Explorer as soon as it arrives. So availability, my 2020 Explorers, we are able to order vehicles right now. So if you are thinking about getting a 2020 Explorer and taking advantage of all of these brand new features, don't hesitate, call me, let me know. We can set you up with a custom order just for you. But expect delivery later this year during the end of the summer months. That's when we should be able to be seeing the 2020 Ford Explorer. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing a video on how much this Ford Explorer is going to increase in price. I'm going to go through the base level all the way through the platinum so that you guys have an idea as to what specific pricing we are talking about. So if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on? Subscribe today. The other vehicle that I'm so excited to see is my 2019 Ford Ranger. If you haven't seen the video that I did on the 2019 Ranger, I'll link it up in the cards. I think it's on this side. But anyways, I got invited by Ford among some other sales consultants to experience a training session and a small test drive on the Ford Ranger. Let me tell you, I'm so excited that this Ford Ranger is finally making its way back to us. It's been in other parts of the country since I can remember, but in the US, production stopped in 2011. It's been already 8 years since we have not seen a Ford Ranger, and I'm so excited. We're expecting our first Ranger any day now. We are right at the end of January of 2019, and I'm so excited. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do so, because I'm going to be doing a full-blown review on the 2019 Ford Ranger. Okay, the other vehicle that I'm very excited and heavily anxious to see is the Ford Bronco. Man, the last visual that I have is California highways, white Bronco driving in front of tons of police cars. But hey, that was back then. I am so excited to announce that the Ford Bronco is making it here. It is supposed to be a 2020 model, but I think it's going to be coming later in 2020. I'm not 100% sure. It is sharing the chassis of a Ford Ranger, so that tells me that the size of the Ford Bronco is not going to be like that size that we were used to seeing back in the 90s, a full-size vehicle. It's going to be a smaller sized vehicle, not as large as the full-size, but we'll see. The renderings that we've seen online on the pictures, we've been told it doesn't look like that. So we don't know how this Ford Bronco is going to be looking, but I'm so excited because, you know, it's a brand new vehicle, man. We need brand new, fresh stuff coming into the lineup, in the Ford lineup. So we've been told that it is going to be coming available in the 4-door and in a 2-door, and also could be available with a soft top and a hard top as well. And you know what? Ford is really directly competing against the Jeep Wrangler because, you know, let's face it, they have concentrated, Jeep has, on that market of off-road capability with, you know, open air access for decades, and Ford is going after them. I mean, this is a direct competitor to the Jeep Wrangler. And you know what? We also have rumors that the Bronco 2, remember that? The smaller version of the full-size Bronco. Well, Ford is thinking about, you know, building a smaller size Bronco. It's unnamed right now. Okay, so we're just calling it Bronco 2, just like Ford did back in the day. So I think what Ford is thinking is that, you know, if somebody cannot afford the Bronco, but they want something that is capable off-road, they want something that, you know, you can still put family in there, well, they've got this other version, which is the smaller version of the Ford Bronco. So it is still way, way ahead. We are not sure exactly, you know, about this information, but the Ford Bronco is definitely coming. And the engine of choice, I think, is going to be, I would say, maybe a 2.7 liter EcoBoost. I feel like that is kind of like the engine that would fit great on that. I mean, we have it on the F-150, and believe it or not, it's been a really, really good seller. It's got plenty of power, good fuel efficiency, good towing, good torque. So I feel like that 2.7 engine would fit perfectly on this Bronco. But man, imagine if they did a V8 on this thing. This thing would be a beast, wouldn't it? So we don't know which engines Ford is going to be making on this, but I feel like the 2.7 would be a good match. Lastly, I want to say that, because I had questions about this, about the transmission and what I thought Ford was going to be putting transmission-wise on the Ford Bronco. Well, Ford hasn't used a manual transmission on trucks or heavy-duty vehicles for a very, very long time. So Ford is not going to be putting, in my opinion, a manual transmission on a Ford Bronco, even though Jeep has it and even though Ford is competing against Jeep. These automatic transmissions, guys, are so high-tech that in most cases, I would say almost 100% of the cases, the automatic transmission outperforms the manual transmission. So I feel confident in saying that we will not have a manual transmission on the future Ford Bronco. But hey, I am so excited about this vehicle coming into the lineup, and stay tuned, because as soon as I know more information about this Ford Bronco, I'll definitely put videos here on my channel so that you guys are aware as to what's coming and when it's coming. So make sure that you subscribe today. Goodbye, Fusion. You were my favorite. Goodbye, Focus. We had many great years together. The end of cars is coming. Ford has announced, and this is not news that is recent, Ford has already announced that they're cutting the cars out of the Ford lineup. So the Ford Fiesta is going, the Ford Focus is leaving us, the Fusion, bye-bye, the Ford Taurus is gone, and the Ford C-Max is also been deleted from the lineup in the near future. So I'm assuming that Ford is going to be deleting these in the next couple of years, but we will not have cars to sell. And I'm kind of sad about it, because obviously we have market for customers that want an inexpensive car, and you know, there's still a competition, there's still competitors that are thriving in this segment. So in that respect, I'm kind of saddened that Ford is deleting these cars. But on the flip side of it, looking at this, you know, cup half full kind of a deal, and looking at my previous sales that I did for 2018, I was actually looking at them, and I was actually surprised of how small of an amount of cars that I sold. So I sold about 280 vehicles last year for 2018, and get this, 5% of these sales were cars. Only 5%. The majority of them were trucks like F-150s, 2s and 350s. Then my mid-size SUV lineup, which is kind of be like the Edge and the Ford Explorer, and only 5% were cars. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I knew that I didn't sell a lot of cars to begin with, but only 5%, I didn't know that number until I was preparing for this video, and I saw that the amount of cars was a tiny amount. So here in Texas, everything is big here in Texas, guys. And we are heavily concentrating on trucks because we've got tons of companies, construction people, landscaping people, you name it. And these companies require vehicles that can haul and that can tow a lot of weight. And that is why we in Texas and in other parts of the country, I don't think we're going to be affected that much. I mean, I'm saddened, of course, that these cars are going away, because I had a lot of good memories selling these cars since they debuted. But, you know, on the flip side of it, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. Now, in other parts of the country, that could be a different side of the story, because they might have more market of for those customers that are more fuel efficiency conscious. They don't need the towing. So it could definitely hurt many other parts of the country. But here in Texas, we're gonna be fine. And I'm pretty sure that that is one of the reasons why Ford is coming out with these new vehicles, is to basically replace what Ford is deleting. So we are going out with these cars, and Ford is bringing some fresh new vehicles that we can easily, you know, tell customers, hey, let's switch over to this. Let me tell you why an SUV is better than a car. Let me just show you that the fuel efficiency of these new vehicles is comparable to what you're getting or what you could have gotten on a car. So kudos to Ford, because they're taking that away from us, but they're bringing in fresh new stuff, and I'm excited for the future, and I'm excited to see what Ford is bringing to the table. So at the end of the day, yes, I'm saddened, but I'm excited to see what the future holds for Ford. Lastly, I want to talk to you guys about the Ford Raptors. You know, 2019 is upon us. Like I said, this is the last week of 2019, and I've got already a lot of orders to be fulfilled. Let me just share this with you. These are orders that are coming from you guys, that are coming from YouTube. All of these vehicles have been ordered, and all of these, guess what? All of these are Ford Raptors. Yes, Ford Raptors. And all of these sales came from you guys, came from people that are checking my channel, wanting to get a great deal on a Ford Raptor. So our philosophy has always been the following since 2017. We will work with you. We will not charge a premium, a markup over MSRP on a Ford Raptor if you go through me here at Tomball Ford. Now, if you call my dealership and you say, hey, I saw that you're advertising Raptors for MSRP, they're gonna go, are you crazy? And yes, I know that in certain parts of the country, markup on these things is insane. The highest that I've seen is $25K over MSRP, and that came from somebody in California. So you guys on the West Coast, man, you have the hardest. You are hit the hardest when it comes to a vehicle like this, and it's somewhat understandable because it's the market is very high. The availability is very limited, so it creates urgency from dealerships to charge over MSRP. But it is stupid to go, you know, and charge something like that. That is not how we do business, and I want to work with you. We can structure things differently to make it make sense to you, and I can ship anywhere in the country, so it is not a problem for you to buy a Ford Raptor from me. And the process is actually pretty simple, because we will talk on the phone, we will communicate via email, and we will settle on all of these options that are available for you, down to what is convenient for you. What is it that you want? The color, the options, the features, and the equipment. Then we will collect a small deposit that will be used towards the purchase of the vehicle when the vehicle comes in. We will then submit the order. Now the hard part begins, is waiting for that Raptor to be built. But hey, don't worry, because I will be communicating with you via email and phone to let you know, hey, I got a VIN number. Hey, it's going through quality control. Hey, I got an estimated shipping of this date, and then when I get it here, then you can just come by, pick it up. If you want to fly in, we can pick you up, make a road trip back home from it. Or if you want to ship it, that is not a problem. I can send you the contract to your address, so that at the convenience of your home, you can take your time and you can fill out the paperwork. Then we ship your vehicle. Then you start enjoying your Ford Raptor. So it is very simple to purchase a Ford Raptor from me, Jorge Lopez at Tomball Ford, with no markup, no premium. So call me, send me a text message today, and email if you're interested in getting one of these beasts. So guys, there you have it, a quick video, reflection, information regarding a few of the vehicles and the future of Ford. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in and watching my channel. It means a lot for you to subscribe, that you have subscribed, that you like this video, that you share it. Thank you. Thank you so much. I couldn't ever believe that my channel could grow as little as it is, because it's still a tiny channel, but I'm excited that you're here. This channel is a community where we can answer each other's questions. We can help each other out. We can get you a great deal if you're ever in the market for a new Ford, Jeep, Chrysler, or Dodge product. If you haven't done so already, subscribe. What are you waiting on? Hit that bell notification so that you don't miss any upcoming videos. And again, I am Jorge Lopez, your sales consultant here at Tomball Ford. Yep, that's our dealership here. Yep, let us know if we can help you out. Thanks again, you have a blessed day. See you.